I got a new one of these because that was plastic. But got to push the wires up through right here. That's what I had to do. I just got done doing that. And I'm putting this guy in the hole for the key. Slid the key in already, which is right here, brand new key. Don't know if you guys can see what I'm doing. So right here, got the new key in, putting the screw in. It's a T20, Torx 20. Make sure you get it lined up in with the plastic so you don't make new threads, because we definitely don't want to do that. All right, so there we go. New key's in there. Before we put everything together, I'm gonna have to double check it a couple times, make sure everything's good. Pull it out, put it in. Alrighty, I think we're good. Okay, so now we go reverse. This guy's got to go in there now. It'll go in there a lot easier than it came out, that's for sure. And I can kind of probably show you guys what I'm doing here. So, flip-flop my video too much. I don't know if it messes up anything, so I'm putting this guy right there's the screw I just put in. And I'm going to put this right there. Pretty much the same exact. Just putting it all back together. This guy came out. There we go. Okay. So I think that's pretty good right there. It actually clicks in, so there we go. Now we know we're good. Alright, the next thing to do is push this guy back. I don't like pushing on the wires, so kind of like to feed them both at the same time. I don't want to be yanking and pulling and stuff, so I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm kind of doing them both at the same time. All right. So let's see where we're at. Make sure we're good. All right, so it actually is. This one's slightly different than my Corvette it was. Just like, seems a little bit different. Not a lot, but a little bit. So I'm just being gentle. I mean, the turn signal, it's all just plastic. First of all, it's cold in here, so that's gonna make it a little bit more brittle, susceptible to break. And it's also really old, so that's also gonna make it easy to break. So both them things. Oh, this guy, it was in here. So there should be, push this right here. Putting this guy in now. Try to see if I can find out where it goes in there, because it's kind of just wiggled right out. So imagine what I'm gonna have to do is kind of just get it to wiggle right back in like how it was. So it actually came out really easy. See if I can get a good angle at this so I can see exactly where that guy goes in. So it looks like you can see in the steering wheel, or the turn signal. It's not as easy as my Corvette was, but that is how it goes. Alright, so I'm going to actually set this guy down. And I'm going to grab these other stuff out of here. I'm going to put a screw or two in here. Just kind of hold it into place. As I took these apart, there's actually some screws. One of them was different than the others. So we just gotta make sure that I keep them all separated how they were. Like I said, this is plastic, so the big thing that I always try to do is I try not to make new threads. I try to just catch it up on the threads that it originally was on. That way I know I'm not making new threads. So it's a matter of backing the screw out and just try not to cross thread anything. Alright, so as of right now, I got one screw that is on the seat somewhere that I gotta grab. But I'm sure as I start getting the parts and stuff, I will find that screw. Okay, and then this screw has a little bit different head on it. That one is for the turn signal. So, where that screw went, I'm sure I'll find it. Now with that guy not moving, we should be able to get this in here. Oh, almost had it. Let's see if I can get this light in here. See if there's actually a... See a lot of grease. There's a lot of grease on here. No. All right, there we go. So you just gotta kind of, guess and check. That's what we're gonna call it. We're gonna call it guessing and checking. Right, but we got it in there, as you can see. Like I said before, we are not making new threads, so we're gonna be very cautious on this. We want it to go right in, or we're not gonna pretty much do it. So. Right. Good deal. I'm being very cautious. I don't want to over tighten anything. So I'm just looking at the slop, and there's still a little bit of slack still in there. So. That looks pretty good. Now I'm going to keep that guy down. I got to find that last screw. Which, surprisingly enough, is not on the bottom of my magnetic screwdriver. So, oh, there it is, right there. I'm going to set this guy right here. All right. Okay, good. 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 Alright, so the next thing is put the hazard on. It's kind of make sure that there is a certain way that that's got to go on too. So, get over here. Alright, just kind of look at this guy. Now this thing, like, it won't go on if it's like 80 or 180 or whatever. You gotta it's actually got to be lined up somewhat. Alright, so this is an okay screwdriver, but I'm gonna use a little bit tighter, smaller screwdriver, so it's actually fits in the screw perfectly. We definitely don't want to strip anything out. Good, 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 good. All right. Good, good. Okay, so now Alright, so I just got done wiggling that guy in. This is all tested. Got done putting this in there. It's a good idea just to double check as you go, you know. It doesn't hurt anything. So on my other when I ran this, spring goes in here, this guy goes in here. Now when I took this off, and I'm going to show you guys something, so you look like this actually has some notches in there, and it actually appears like this one's actually pretty cool. It only goes on one way. Yeah, it's nifty. Sometimes these things are actually don't have a relief cut in there, but this one does, so awesome. Kudos for that. Make sure that this guy actually seats on there just like it's supposed to, which it does. Now this guy goes on one way, which is fantastic. So now we know that we are going to be good when we push this in. Now you got, yes, it's not gonna happen. New and improved tool. I milled that, made it flat. Yep. Worth it. So you guys, fantastic note. Ordered one off Amazon. Another Amazon special. Does not have the relief in there that this one has. Alright. So I just spent quite a bit of time trying to get it on. Got us all the way to this point. And ended up super gluing that crack on there because, you know, thank you Amazon. What a joke. I hate that. Direct replacement's not. So, now, with all that being said, spent about 30 minutes trying to get it on. It just wasn't working. I'm going to wait for this super glue to dry. I'll set this down right here. I'm going to go do some things while that super glue dries. Come back and hit it. Okay. Yeah. Anyways. So you guys, that gap, there shouldn't be any gap, or you know what it was when you took it off. If you guys ended up stretching it out, pulling it off, I recommend just buying a new one. That way you don't have to get all the way to this point. Okay. We're going to put all this thing back on. Amazon really hosed me on that other one. I got this lined up to where it's not, that stem isn't touching the metal. So, get it on there, slide this thing down, and then we should be good. I'm just going to slowly walk it on both of these. It's going to watch that white piece of plastic. I put some super glue on there. It didn't look like it looked like more like it was not really cracked, but yeah, I just put some super glue on it just to be on the safe side. If this wasn't my personal truck, then I would probably I mean, for sure, if this is like my brother's car or something that I was working on, I'd fix it. I'd put a brand new one in there, just wait, but seeing it's my personal truck, I'm not really too worried about it. I'm not. I think it's going to be fine. I did buy the right one, Amazon, you know. Thank you. Thank you, Amazon. Fantastic. It's one of the loves and joys about working on cars. I almost took a job doing that one time. And it's a good thing I didn't. Whew, it's a good thing. It's a hobby. It's not something I'd like to do every day. Alright, so we got to be very careful on that plastic piece. Alright, so we got half of it on. I'm going to keep my thumb on it. To be mindful of that piece of plastic. And then, right, now it's all the way on. Watch for the plastic. Just definitely don't want to hit it. Okay. Right, I think we're somewhere. Not quite there though, are we? It looked like we were good, but you know what? Let's just tighten this up just a little bit more. And look at that. You guys, just to let you know, like, absolutely no pressure. Okay, if you feel pressure, stop. Something's wrong. You got the wrong part, something's wrong. You hear that click? Oh yeah. I heard it click. I did. That was great. Alright, now that we've got that in there, that's all done. We're going to be mindful of that piece of plastic. I got to get the other piece of plastic on there that I took off. So, there we go. Okay, that's on there. Looks good. Looks great even. Yep. Great. Look at this. Look at this. Like, I mean, I can still move that. That's what you want. Okay, so piece of plastic. This guy right here, right? Just gonna click right in there. Should. At least I hope so. I took that off so you guys could see how to do it. Alright, so there we go. What I say? Look at that. Oh, I love it when I'm not a liar. The Amazon part made me one though. I'm telling you what. Okay. Now. See, that's what that plastic piece does. It does that right there. I mean, so as long as we're not going all crazy on it and hitting stuff and, you know, as long as we're nice and cautious, I think we'll be good. The only thing I got to kind of worry about is make sure that I don't lose continuity when I put super glue on it. So, we'll check that. Typically, that piece of plastic also breaks when you try to yank this guy off without pushing that pin that I showed you guys on taking it apart. It's a good time to check everything. I was reading that it said it hadn't. I doubt this thing has an airbag. I'm not for sure. I doubt it. This doesn't look like anything would have one on it. One of the forums said to disconnect the battery because it had an airbag in it. I'm not seeing where an airbag would be at. But, you know, it is what it is. So, if we installed everything correctly, I don't want to pull on that. I want to install this guy right. It should slide right on there. Perfect. Just like that. Okay, cool. I didn't want to have to fish all this stuff through there. Cool. Alright. There we go. Might tighten this up. Like I said, I want to make sure my horn works. I want to check continuity. Alright. So, got that all in there. And now we are ready to put the nut on. I'm ready to put this on anyway. Tighten this guy up. There is a torque for this, so definitely going to want to make sure that we torque it. But what I'm going to do is I'm not really going to put this completely on because I want to test some things out. Alright. Yeah, I lied. I'm going to put it completely on. I'm going to go find out what the torque is, set the torque, and then I'll get back. Alright, not me. Google says 29 foot-pounds. Set to 29. Now, I do actually have a smaller torque wrench than this. I do. But, you know, the awesomest thing about having kids, them are the tools that always get lost is the smaller ones. Always makes me nervous corking something sometimes. The first time, anyway. I'm always like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Alright, that seemed to do pretty good. I broke a lot of bolts off in my lifetime. So, there we go. One last little tiny piece to put on here is the retaining clip. Okay, so needle nose. Put that guy like that, and then just open. Should work. Should. Oh, look at that. What'd I say? There we go. Alright. So now everything looks good. We should be up and running. And put this clip in here. I want to be extra careful, you know, that piece of plastic. So I'm going to be extra careful, extra careful. Oh, I love it when you hear something click like that. This makes my day. Okay. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fish this wire a little bit better than what they had it. They just throw this stuff in there. When you're putting it together, you can actually make sure that it's not rubbing on anything, and it's right where you want it. There we go. Alright. I'm going to hook up the battery, 8mm on this truck. And I'm going to hit the horn button. Hopefully it works. Guys, before I go and hook up that battery, pull the key out, shut it off. I'm going to go hook it up. Be right back. So guys, I was a little nervous there. During my install, I accidentally left the lights on. And it was humming at me when I hooked up the battery. And I was like, what'd I forget to do? Hazards are on. Hazards are off. So far, so good. Ooh, yes. That's that sound of money right there. Not really, the sound of spending money. Well, there we go. Got it all together. I'm gonna put all these clips together, and then yeah. Thank you guys for watching this. Hopefully this helps. One of the big things to say is when it comes to buying stuff off Amazon, check, and check again. Alright, just check it. Took me 30 minutes to figure out that green piece right here was wrong. 30 minutes. That cost me valuable daylight time. I had a lot of fun plans planned today, and instead in the garage. But it's all good. Best part about this is my wife said when I actually broke this key off in the ignition, I fixed it. I'm going to let her pick up all these tools. Thank you guys for watching.